Yeah, the question I guess I'm more we don't price that because we're, right, so we're regulated by the Department of Insurance. But I'll just say that if you want to ask me everything, like, during that was so. Yeah, but if you look at the coverages, there's. She's good, thank you, yes, she asked me to stay, she was, you want me to go with you? Thank you, good, how are you? So we'll get afterwards and let me know. Yes, you know what I mean? 22,000 square foot, 8,000. 2,000. Do you guys want to eat? Well, you want to eat, but it doesn't have. After better? Okay. Well, depends on them. He wants to. Okay. What are we doing? So I need to go. Take that. Okay, go ahead, and then I'll start when you come back. Just that. I think we're good. Yeah, that's how they go in here. Like whatever way it's right. Oh wow. So we could eat and watch at the same time? Whatever you guys want. I think people said they'd rather do it after, but I don't know if you guys are like limited on time, then just, I guess, you know, it's up to you guys. Now I know where I would like my polarized. Move forward. Yeah. Just waiting for one person that makes the restaurant and everything start. Where are you? How are you? So we will be starting in a couple minutes. I'm just waiting for one person to come back in and then we can go ahead and get started.
So my class is not gonna be that long, but it's gonna be very informative about home warranty. I'm just gonna prep you right now until she comes back. But if you guys have any questions about home warranty, this is probably the good time to, ask the questions as well. And, hopefully I get to, basically answer a lot of the questions and get you to understand home warranty and how to best help your clients get the most of the warranty. Okay, so I'm gonna be sharing 4 different things. I'm gonna talk about the topic of CRES. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are
Good, thank you. The CRES and the benefits of going with CRES, I mentioned it, but I'm gonna go a little bit more specific and we may do some role play on that. I'm also gonna share about seller's coverage because who knows who Mike Berry is? I do. You do, okay. So I was just at the Mike Berry retreat this last week. I was gonna bring my notes and I forgot them during the car. But one of the things that Mike Ferry, he's like a he's very successful real estate coach. And he just basically was talking about, all the changes going on and how agents are very concerned about commissions and how everything's gonna go. And he's always been a more listing agent type of coach. But I think more than now, like ever before, he's really emphasizing to make sure that you guys become the strongest listing agents that you can become. So today in my presentation, I'm going to share 2 things that we have that you can put into your, your presentation so that way it helps give even more value. Okay, and my suggestion is, and he kind of mentioned that as well, is that it would be a good idea for you to sit down with all your team, all the people that service you. And then that way you can see what everybody else has so that when you're going out and you're doing those listing presentations, you basically are really separating yourself from everybody else that maybe is not offering this, maybe has it available, but they don't even know they have it available. But it's just kind of making you stand out and hopefully get that listing. I'm waiting for one person to come in. I promise.
I'm gonna wait, let's go. You don't need to make all these people wait for
Yeah.
one person to go
Okay.
in.
Okay, so basically, everybody should have a brochure. Okay, good, okay. And I'll tell her, I'll sit with her afterwards. So Old Republic, just a little bit about myself. I've been with Old Republic now 26 years, only with Old Republic. I've never changed, even though people have asked me to, go with somebody else. I haven't. And the main reason being is that I'm able to call my company and say, I'm able to call the company and say, you know what, this is something that is not covered. It's maybe gonna be $1,500. We already determined 100% that it's not covered. And my boss, will basically ask me, why do I want to help even though it's not covered? And usually she'll go ahead and meet me, close to what it is that I asked for, as long as it's realistic and a win-win situation, right? And so that's the main reason I have stayed with Old Republic, because I'm able to do that even in situations where sometimes it's something that's not covered. And not covered, meaning that it relates to the home warranty. Now, if something's wrong with your car, I can't help you, right? But I'm just talking about that if it has something to do with the house, and I'm just doing the preface right now, okay? So you haven't missed anything.
Okay, thank you.
And so if you have, if it has to do something with the house and it relates to home warranty, yes, I can most likely help you, even in most cases, if something is not covered. And the reason I'm starting that way is because a lot of times agents will say, well, the home warranty doesn't work. It doesn't cover, it doesn't, you know what? It does. I have taken cards in that are 10,000, 20,000, 15,000. Now, if I take in a card for you that says $15,000, you have probably a very happy customer, right? Because you saved them that much money. But chances are that when it's time to renew, we're not going to be able to allow them to renew with us because it's been a very high loss ratio office or house. So we do decline some warranties, including they declined mine because I got like a new air conditioner and they did some other stuff on my house. And so they're like, okay, we can't renew you. I think they spent like $8,000 on my house almost. And so they, so now they can't, and I still don't have a warranty right now because I'm trying to figure out who I want to go with and stuff.
How long do you stay in the non-renewal?
Usually after 2 years or so, they can always call us back. They're like very happy. And so, sometimes agents will call me and they'll say, well, what should I do if you guys are not going to renew it? You guys obviously did a good job, you spent thousands of dollars. And so, I would say, I'll tell you, maybe shop it around to somebody else and see what they, have to offer and then come back to us.
And your claim, is it like insurance that shows up when you go to a different carrier for like?
It's not home warranty. No, it's not. No. And that's a good question because sometimes I just found this out because I did a homeowner's insurance versus home warranty. And that's one thing on homeowner's insurance, it does follow you for, I think it's 3 years with the homeowner's insurance. But for us, it doesn't follow you. But, if we decline somebody and say, we can no longer renew you, I would say wait like 2 years or so and then come back. And then most likely they'll say, okay, go ahead. And obviously, if the policy, let's say that we declined it and then that year it happens to sell and now it's a new buyer, we'll go ahead because it's a new buyer. He's got nothing to do with what we've done on that house in the past. Okay, so you guys are CRES, and so I want to start with that. And so there's benefits of you guys because your office is CRES and we're also CRES. Does anybody know what some of those benefits are?
Can you tell us what CRES stands for?
Okay, so I can't because but I'm gonna have to read it because somebody just asked me that this week. Actually, you're the third person. I've never been asked that.
Well, they
And
keep saying CRES,
yeah,
but I'm like,
I'll tell you,
okay,
I'll
what-
tell you what it means right now. But basically, in general, if you, when you guys get your checks, there's your E&O. It has to do with E&O.
Okay.
So your E&O is deducted, right? They deduct a certain amount of E&O from your check every year. I mean, out of every paycheck, just in case something was to go wrong. So the acronym is an acronym, but it's Comprehensive Real Estate Services.
No,
Okay,
that's
Comprehensive Real Estate Services. That's CRES. Okay, but
Thank
it's
you.
your E&O. That's the name of your
Okay.
E&O company. And so we are connected with them. And so for you guys as real estate agents, do you know that if you end up, has anybody ever here gone to court?
No, we don't want to.
Court for real estate?
No.
No.
We don't
Okay,
ever want.
nobody, nobody wants
That's
it,
our
but does it happen? But does it happen?
Yes.
Yes, it does happen, right? So when you go to court, do you know that there's a deductible that you as real estate, doesn't matter what office you're at, there's a deductible that you guys as real estate agents have to pay?
And I understand ours is high.
Most offices are anywhere from 10, 15, 20, 25,000. Okay, and I'm not necessarily saying that that's how much you're gonna pay, but I'm just saying that it all depends, that, that's like that cap, I guess, that you would pay. When you use Old Republic Home Protection, that deductible for you is reduced by $5,000 off of the top. So if you're gonna pay 10,000, you would pay 5,000. Okay, so let's just say that you were going to court and you were gonna have to pay the full amount, it would be 5,000 off of the top. Okay, so that's a huge benefit for you guys. Now, Old Republic has 2 plans. We have the CRES plan and we have a regular plan for all the offices that don't have CRES. And so they're not they don't get that benefit. You guys get that benefit. So the reason I'm saying that is very important that when you guys are ordering your policies, I don't know who's ordering them for you, or if you're doing it yourself, you want to make sure that you're asking for the CRES product. Because if you close a transaction, and this has already happened in another office, that they go to court and they think they're gonna get their 5,000 and they never even asked for CRES, didn't say it on the contract, they never got it, and they closed the transaction with a 12-month plan, and so they didn't get the 5,000 benefit for the
What
agent.
is the specific language that our agents would use in the contract
In the,
to make sure that they get that coverage?
so I would write CRES, Old Republic Home Protection, and even if you wanted to add the 13 months, because it is a 13-month plan. Okay, and that's what I would add. Now, since we are talking about that, you also want to make sure that when you're writing up your offers, you're being very specific as to what coverage you want. Because a lot of times many times agents will say, oh, home warranty, not to cover, not to exceed 600 or not to exceed 700. They don't say what coverage they want for their buyers. So technically, if let's just say that she was writing up an offer and she just put not to exceed $700. And then she was ordering the policy and she ordered just the 13-month basic for $485. She's, oh, if they go to court, she's okay, even though she didn't use the 700 because she never specified what coverage she wanted. So you want to always write either the silver, the gold, or the platinum on there. Yes.
I always write CRES,
Uh-huh.
There isn't.
um,
Well, have you looked at the new, or there's not a new?
up to 800 or 850. Would that be
Yeah,
covered
right.
all?
Well, if you're ordering it and the other agent isn't gonna be particular, yes, but
So
I
it
would,
doesn't get on top of it.
yes, I would suggest that you start writing in which one you want. Do you want the silver, do you want the gold, or you want the platinum?
Okay.
Okay.
You just put the amount and.
No,
as high as you
that's
can,
what I'm
just
saying,
to
no,
cover.
because especially how, okay, like, let's be realistic. How many of you guys really say, oh, yeah, I gotta order the warranty? Right? A lot of times, it's like last minute, and people are like, oh, can you order it? I totally forgot about it, right? And then a lot of times they even forget and they'll tell, oh, you go ahead and order it, especially in your office, because you're getting like, this is just the first benefit, right? So you want to make sure that you're proactive. You order it as soon as, you're opening escrow, you be the one to order. It takes 5 minutes. And you can even do it on the toolbox, which I'll talk to you guys about the toolbox in a bit, but you want to write in the correct language, and then you want to order the correct coverage. But again, many times, let's say that the homeowner said, very important, I want to make sure that my Sub-Zero refrigerator is covered. And you guys didn't write refrigerator on the offer on the, and so now it never got ordered. And so now the customer has a problem, and then you guys call me and say, can you add refrigerator and Sub-Zero? How much will that cost sometimes?
$10,000.
Thousands of dollars, okay? So it's hard for me to go to my boss, oh, can we go ahead and add a $55 coverage so that we can cover thousands of dollars? And then she's gonna say, let me see the contract, and now when she sees the contract, you guys didn't even ask for it. And then agents many times will say, well, I thought about it and we talked about it, but we didn't put it on the contract. Now, you guys know how important the contract is, right?
Yes.
So you want to make sure you're very specific as to what it is you want. If they want a pool coverage, if they want septic tank coverage, if they want, casita price, whatever it is that they want, just put it on there. If it's in one of these options right here, you should find the room to put it in there, because other than the silver, gold, and platinum, the extras are here.
So refrigerator is not here.
Now, if you're getting the gold, and the platinum, the air conditioner, the washer, the dryer, and the refrigerator are already covered. So you don't have to worry about it, and the roof.
Even if
Okay.
there's 2 refrigerators.
Okay, so if there's a second refrigerator, then I would write in parentheses, we're covering the second refrigerator also,
So we
You know,
have to write all
or
this
2 refrigerators total.
contract.
You can write like, the first part of the contract, you're writing silver, gold, or platinum. If anything here is not covered in those 3 things, it would be, and I'll tell you what it is. Under gold or platinum, what's not covered would be the pool. The pool is not part of the silver, gold, or platinum. That would be an optional coverage. If you wanted extra refrigerator, that would not be part of here. So you would say covering 2 refrigerators total, something like that, so that people know you're covering 2
So we
refrigerators.
can always order this after we write the offer.
Yes,
Yeah,
as soon as it gets accepted, because even if you mess up, there's enough time to make changes and stuff like that. So even if an addendum needed to be made up, there's enough time. But when you're at the very, very end, and this happens a lot, if you're at the very, very end, and then you promise your homeowner that they were gonna get all this coverage, and now you're short. And then what happens?
And the
Yeah.
most important part is I make sure in the contract, I put CRES.
CRES, Old Republic Home Protection, and then what coverage you want, and then if there's any options, okay? So, and we understand now the benefit to you guys. The second benefit, it's to you, but it's also to your seller. How many of you guys have listings or are considering yourself a listing agent or want to switch over to a listing agent? Right? Okay. So when here's the other benefit, is that when you are gonna go and you're gonna do a listing presentation, one of the benefits that you have is we have the certificate, and you can tell them, if you list the property with me, I will make sure that if anything was to happen, however it is that you present it to them, but if anything was to happen that the errors and omissions covers, you're gonna be covered up to $50,000 of E&O protection. Okay? But the E&O, the errors and omissions, so they're gonna be covered. Usually errors and omissions, you guys pay because you wanna be protected. Right now, because they're listing the property with you, they're being protected because you're using 13-month Old Republic Home Protection CRES. Okay, so you have to close with this policy in order for them to get this.
So
50,000 for the first 6 months.
that they don't have to pay.
No, they don't have to pay anything. All they have to do is list the property with you. If they're listing the property with you, they will automatically get that, that coverage, okay? So,
So you better put their name on your contract.
So-
That 50,000
yes.
damage is from the landlord or the seller.
Okay, so here, who's, I wanna make sure you guys are understanding.
Are you gonna give us that?
I can give it to you guys and we can make copies before I leave, so you guys can have this, okay? So, okay, so this coverage, you wanna close the door maybe? Yeah, okay.
Hey.
So this.
Stop talking so loud.
That's allowed.
Okay. All right, so the $50,000 of E&O protection is for who? Who am I saying? For, no.
The seller.
Seller, for the seller, okay? Now, if that seller was to be sued, more than likely, who would sue them? The buyer, okay, so the buyer. So now you guys, so you're giving your seller this coverage. Okay, in return, they're giving you their listing, right? And so this is valid if, these are the conditions. Number one, it's their primary residence, okay? They are living there. They have to be, it can't be for a rental, not a flipper, not anything like that. It has to be their primary residence. It has to be a single family, a condo, a townhouse, or a mobile home. Okay, yes.
A duplex?
Yes, no, not units, okay, so single family, condo, townhouse, mobile home, and then now they have this coverage for the first 6 months after the close of escrow. I saw you raise your hand.
I did, I was asking if, where we land too.
No,
No.
it's not for that, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, okay, because it has to be a primary residence, so, yeah. Okay, so primary residence, so $50,000 for the first 6 months. Now, if your homeowner says, wow, you know what, I really like this. Can't you extend it? Can I have it for a whole year instead of 6 months? Yes, you may, Mr. Seller. You just need to fill this out, send a check to this place for $200 and send it in within the first 14 days after the close of escrow. They're gonna ask for a copy of the closing statement and you send it there and now they will have that coverage for a whole year. But because, Mr. Seller, you're listing the property with me, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that you have this for the first 6 months. Now, Mr. Seller, I wanna make sure that you understand that you're gonna be covered with anything that the errors and omissions covers. So if there's anything like example fraud or anything like that, E&Os will not cover it, cover it. So it has to be something that errors and omissions would.
Intentional, right?
Yes, because you can't, you're gonna be covered against everything because you're putting yourself in liability. Yes,
So in commercial properties, it will be a different one?
commercial property is no, only single family condo.
Because I know some of them, they have dishwashers.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
No.
we have, but this is just E&O coverage. I'm not even talking about the coverage on the home warranty side right now.
Oh,
But can we
Okay.
use the press coverage on a duplex? It's just not.
Yes,
Oh,
The only difference between everything is just the E&O coverage right now is all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about home warranty yet.
okay.
I'm just talking about the E&O coverage benefits to you guys, $5,000 for the agent, $50,000 for the seller. If they want to extend it, they can extend it for $200 for another, like 6 months.
them with lawsuits, anything else?
And anything that they, that they would go to court for. So okay, yes.
Does that $200 have to come from the seller or?
I
the
think
borrower?
anybody can pay
Anybody
it.
can
Yeah,
pay it.
anybody
Okay.
can pay it, but they have to do it, it's time sensitive. So it's gotta be within the 14 days after the close of escrow. So you gotta make sure they're like right on it, right after it closes and stuff. The address is there, all the information is here. So when you guys get a copy today, I'm gonna ask, if they can make copies for you guys.
Can you take it up in the commission too?
Yeah, you can pay for it.
Yeah, that would be, I guess you can talk to the broker or to the escrow.
Oh.
But the first 6 months is free, okay? The first 6 months is free.
The owner should.
Only pay for it only if they're extending the coverage, right? The first 6 months is free. to them because they're listing the property with you. Okay, we're only talking about if they want to pay extra, if they want it for a whole year.
So it's like, well, I
Okay.
would say, we even say, we'll pay $200, that I get a whole year.
Yeah, and that's if that's a choice that you would make, right? That's-
So it's not free per se, we're gonna be paying for that, right?
You're not
And
paying,
then 6 months.
No,
you're not paying. The first 6 months, it's free. I just want to make sure everybody understands.
So,
Old Republic,
Yeah.
it doesn't charge you for the first 6 months,
No, not
as
at all.
long as you sign up for it.
Yes,
okay.
As long
once
as
you
you're
sign
doing
up for it,
13-month, Old Republic Home Protection CRES, the plan closes. And the conditions, which was, it was their primary residence and it was a single family condo, townhouse, mobile home. Now they have the first 6 months for them, for free. No, nobody has to pay anything
That's for seller.
for salary.
But it's 13 months, so what happens to the?
No, the 13 months starts when you close escrow and now it's for the buyer. Okay, so that'll be different. So I don't want to confuse you guys. So who gets a $5,000 benefit?
The agent.
Agent, if you guys go to court. How much does the seller get if they list a property with you? 50,000. And what are the conditions for the seller in order for this to apply?
Let's do that. Their own residence.
Primary residence,
Primary.
condo, townhouse, mobile home. Yes,
Let's say I am a buyer's agent.
Uh-huh.
So I choose CRES this
Mhm.
for 13 months. And then why I get the certificate for the seller? The seller doesn't have the listing.
The seller's not your client, right?
Right.
So the only benefit to you is the seller, it's not, if the seller's office is not CRES, and they don't get that benefit, okay? The only benefit is for you, the real estate agent, if you were to end up in court. And if you're the selling agent, which is you're the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the first 5,000 would be covered.
yes, that's the benefit, but since you're not representing the seller, then it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. The only reason it would apply is if that other office is also CRES. Okay, all right, so we're gonna move forward? Yes, okay, so would you say that this is a good listing tool?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so at the end of the meeting, we're gonna go ahead and role play with this. So then that way I know that you guys can go to a listing presentation, because if I don't do this, you'll do it with each other. But that way I know that you guys are set, because how many of you have ever ordered this? Or offered this at your listing presentation?
Never.
Why have you not?
I don't.
Well, I came in last time and I actually talked about this.
Yeah.
But see, because, like Mike Ferry says it, how is it? He said, knowledge is power.
Yes.
Knowledge is power, right? And so I'm trying to give you, I want to give you guys a knowledge to go out there and really know how to promote this. Okay, because it's to your benefit, because you're gonna look different, separate yourself from the competition that's not doing.
So let me ask you another, again, I lost you somewhere.
Yes,
So CRES is 13-month practice,
when it's the buyer's coverage. Yes.
so it's a buyer. Okay, so the 6 months is free for the seller.
It's only for when you're listing site, that's all.
So if the house is 100 years old, the appliances are 80 years old.
They're covered.
Okay,
Okay.
who can tell me what's the first name of our company?
Oh.
Okay, so remember that, guys, okay? So Old Republic. So we will not say, oh, that air conditioner's too old, that refrigerator's too old. It doesn't matter to us. The only thing that matters is that, did it work for them? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this next then. There's 3 reasons why most home warranties do not deny. Number 1 is it's pre-existing. The problem is already there. So let's just say that you forgot to do a walkthrough, or you didn't do the home inspection or something, and then the first time they tried something, it didn't work. Okay, if they call the home warranty and they say this didn't work the first time I tried it, it's not gonna be covered. Okay, so the rule of thumb is everything has to work for the homeowner at least 1 time.
A month, I heard.
Hmm?
First month.
No, at
No,
least
that's-
1 time. Okay, if it worked for them 1 time, then they kind of like already like over that big hump and stuff.
That's the pre-existing home.
Okay, so it doesn't, like, sometimes they say, oh, well, it worked in the inspection, it worked in the walkthrough, what? What Old Republic wants to hear is that after the close of escrow, that homeowner moved in and it worked for them at least one time. And I'm not just saying Old Republic, I'm talking about home warranties in general. So I'm giving you guys like really good tips, not for you guys to go and lie, okay? Not for you guys, because I can see you guys, like a lot of you guys' eyes, I see like eyes going up and I'm like, okay, they're already thinking different, but I'm not saying to lie, right? Because I would rather, if you know that you didn't do the walkthrough, that you didn't do the inspection, or that you know what, we forgot to check that, shoot. I would rather you just say, you know what, Gloria, we kind of messed up and it wasn't working. We forgot to check it. Is there anything you can do to help? More than likely, I'll say, you know what, can you get me an estimate, see how much it's gonna cost, so we don't have to spend on sending someone out? And then I'll talk to my boss and then say, you know what, this is what happened. Now, it can't happen all the time, but if it does happen every so often, just let me know. Okay, yes, I saw your hand.
So if I get a listing, I can offer them the certificate of 50,000 for 6 months free without buying anything,
No, but the whole thing about it is it has to close escrow. Okay, so they're gonna have that obviously, but
and
only
then
if it closes
so
escrow.
the
and it's with our
the
company.
buyer wants to pay for this, so then doesn't move.
Say it again?
I mean, let's say I have a listing,
Uh-huh.
so I offer the $50,000.
Mhm.
So then, Mitra brings an offer
Mhm.
for this property.
Mhm.
She or my seller pays for the, home warranty.
Yes,
So that $50,000 works or doesn't work, because it's two separate transactions.
it doesn't matter. It still works because you're closing with Old Republic Home Protection CRES product. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the buyer's coverage unless it doesn't close. Okay, so this coverage applies, the only mandatory thing is that it has to close. It has to close with Old Republic Home Protection CRES.
So I have to make sure that the buyer agents go with this.
Yes,
That was my next question.
yes.
So the buyer's agent has to go with.
Yes, because if it doesn't close with Old Republic, I can't help you. Yeah, I can help you guys, yes,
No, I'm
So,
serious.
yeah.
Right on both sides.
It doesn't have, well, yeah, because both sides are gonna have to go to one warranty, yes, okay.
Unless the seller pays
If the seller pays for,
the buyer's insurance.
yeah, it doesn't matter, you're still gonna have the coverage. The main thing here is that it has to close Old Republic Home Protection CRES product. Okay, all right, so now, okay, so now we're gonna move on to, before I go into seller's coverage, I just wanted to go real quick through our coverages, okay? So like I said earlier, we have the silver, the gold, and the platinum protection. Okay, the silver, gold, and platinum. The difference is everything that's checked off here is what the silver covers or the gold or the platinum. So the silver is in general plumbing, if you look at the back, it has a little check, so it's easy to understand. But the silver coverage covers plumbing, electrical, appliances, limited pest control, heating, water heater, and roof. That's the standard, that's the silver. If you jump over to the gold, the difference is that the gold will cover the air conditioner, code upgrades, permits, haul-away, washer, dryer, refrigerator, and they're all gonna cover the roof, okay? Haul-away is when something, let's say we replace the water heater, what happens to the old one? If you have the standard, if you have silver, we say, well, you can pay us this much to haul it away. But when you have the gold or the platinum, we'll haul it away. We'll give a credit of $100 towards hauling away each item. Okay, so that is the gold. Then you jump over to the platinum protection. So the platinum protection now adds everything that the silver covers, everything that the gold, but it adds also $1,000 of gas and water breaks outside the home. I've had a lot of these happen where the home will have either a gas leak or a water leak, and then they'll call us and they're like, oh, you have the extra plumbing, and they didn't get the platinum. Okay, so the extra plumbing is only when you get the platinum, or if you just want to go with the silver and get the enhanced pipe leak option, then you're still getting that extra plumbing. How much is the enhanced pipe leak option? Who could tell me?
$100.
$100, okay? So for the $100, you're getting $1,000 of gas and water breaks outside, and you're also getting $2,500 for slab leak. Okay, who could tell me, how do you know when your house is in a slab? Like, it's on slab?
It's easy.
It's easy, just look below.
No stairs.
Okay, you look below. So if you look below and you can see under the house, is it on slab?
Yes,
No.
No, and Raise foundation.
Yes,
Oh,
the raised
right.
foundation, yes, okay. So, okay, a lot of times, a good tip would be when you're walking into the house, is there stairs? If there's no stairs, chances are you just, and it's all
Slab.
one floor, then more than likely it's on slab. Now, if you have a slab leak, how much do you think it would be to
It'll be
fix
a
that?
lot because you have to break the
Concrete.
foundation
Yeah.
and it's a pain in the butt.
Yes, okay, so it's gonna be most likely in the thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Most home warranties will cover $750 to $1,000. Our regular policy without the extra plumbing does cover $1,500. But when you get the platinum or the enhanced, we'll cover $2,500, $2,500. Okay, so that has to be a red flag for you guys, because I've had many issues that the home is on a slab and the homeowner thinks they're gonna have more coverage, and $1,500 is still good, but it's not gonna cover the breaking of the floor, the camera of the line, and the, repairing and all of that. It's not gonna cover it,
Okay,
so.
so you're saying that basically the platinum coverage covers secondary damage.
It doesn't cover the secondary damages. It'll break the floor and it will camera the lines, okay? And then it'll fix the thing. And then
Okay,
everything always comes to a rough finish.
Right, you mentioned, and that's why I wanted to question, that if you have a plumbing problem, right?
Yes,
And plumbing problem creates a water leak,
yes.
is that included?
The secondary, the plumbing is covered, the secondary damages is not.
Okay,
Okay.
so you guys need to understand this very clearly,
Yeah.
okay? Water line breaks, right? And it floods the kitchen floor, that happens to be wood floor,
Mold.
or mold, or whatever, right? Really big, no, correct me if I'm wrong. The home warranty is going to fix that leak, but they are not going to fix the water damage that it created.
A lot of times homeowners insurance will cover
Right.
it if you get the right homeowner's insurance. And even
Flood
then,
coverage.
it depends on what, so I just letting you know, I'm not sure, it sounds like you're, with education in here or something, or education committee or no?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm not questioning.
Oh, no, I'm just
So,
saying.
no, I've been at, no, I'm the coach here, but,
Oh, okay, good, okay.
I'm not trying to follow your, sorry, I'm just making sure
No.
that they understand.
Oh, yeah, no, I noticed that you're, yeah, so just letting you know.
Because I did this, you were really interrupting my presentation.
I do training with homeowners insurance people.
Yeah.
And we do homeowners insurance versus home warranty. And so that's why I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
So if you want to ask your homeowner's insurance person to call me and
Yeah.
we can set a meeting. in
Yeah,
here.
and the other reason why I wanted to mention that, is we have a lot of new agents
Yeah.
that I coach in here in the office.
Okay.
And I've been burned by that, because as an agent, early on in my career, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought we had a home warranty, it's a one for all, and I'm sure that you hear that
Yes,
all the time.
that's, yep.
So it just needs to be
More clear.
understood
Yes.
what because I was getting excited there for a
Yeah.
minute. I thought, dang girl, you can really get
No,
coverage.
You'll be out of business. That's where like very
If you
recovery.
cover the water coverage.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, so. we
no worries.
cover-
I might even leave it shut up too if you finish.
Oh, no, but I just want to make sure, the only reason I said it is if you want to set up a meeting for us to come in and do a meeting for you guys, home warranty, like not versus, but home warranty and homeowners insurance, what the differences are.
I think that that's a great.
Yeah, so I've been doing it, so I think that's why I'm asking you. So if you want to set it up and then just let
Yeah,
whoever.
Sandy will make a note of
We
that.
can
if
do
you
that,
can.
and then that way I already
I'll
have a
run it by
description.
the education committee at our meeting, but I think that would be a great.
Yes, and that was the only reason I brought it up. Okay, so,
I feel like I hurt
so,
your feelings.
no. So just so you guys understand then, so that's the extra plumbing. Also, the platinum protection covers $1,000 of modifications. Okay, so modifications, a lot of times takes place when we're replacing an air conditioner, a water heater, many times, and also a heater. So let's just say that the water heater needs to be moved, or the water heater doesn't fit in that same closet anymore. What happens to the closet? We have to modify it, kind of like construction work. So will cover $1,000 of that. So that's another red flag. When you have those homes that are older, that it's working, but any of those three things are gonna maybe go out, get the platinum because it's worth it. You could be saving. I had one right now that they got the gold, and after everything, they had to pay, I think, I'm trying to remember here, I think it was like $900. And because they didn't get the platinum, if they would have gotten the platinum, the homeowner only would have paid the deductible. Okay, now I didn't tell the homeowner that because they're gonna get upset with the agent, right? But I told the agent, I said, do you know that if you would have got platinum, they wouldn't have had to pay the 900 plus a deductible. They would have just had to pay the $100 deductible.
Deductible is $100.
$100.
Can they change, like, after 2 months, they decide, you know what?
Can they upgrade?
Yeah, upgrade, can they upgrade?
Yes, so they have 60 days after, somebody said it, I heard it, 60 days after the close of escrow. So they have 60 days.
That's it. Another question.
Yes.
Let's say that they have the water heater in a closet and now they want to move it. That is not covered, right?
No, only if the technician says to us, basically the technician is what rules, okay, for us, because we're not there. They're our eyes. So they're the ones that tell us, okay, well, you know what? We recommend that you don't repair that. We recommend that you just replace it because overall you repair it, we're gonna be back here like in a month, repairing it again. So you're better off replacing it. So then we will replace it. But if the homeowner says, oh, I want to get a new one, it doesn't work that
What I
way.
was talking about is let's say that it's in a closet and I want to use it as a homeowner and I want to move it to another place.
No.
It's not covered.
Well, the only time
I
we'll
have to
cover
pay.
is if something is not working
Okay.
and then we need to, like the system or appliance is not working and we need to repair or replace. Okay, but just if the homeowner wants something, no, that doesn't, we go based on the technician. You gotta think, home warranties in general, honestly, and I said this last time, are not, right now, since COVID, have not made any money. I don't think there's any home warranty out there that's making money. Okay, so, I mean, everybody's in business to make money. So just know that, I know that sometimes, you asked me a question about, another home warranty. Yeah. So she asked me, you can ask me right now if you want.
Okay, well, I was asking, go ahead, Kimberly.
So,
My question was, one. Go ahead, give me a second. My mind-
well, I think if I can give you a discount, that's what you said
Yes,
first.
if
Okay.
you're not matching, if another company is offering
Yes.
it for less.
Okay, so many times you're gonna see home warranties that are gonna be $10, $20, $30, maybe even $40 off here and there, deductible, coverage and everything. And like what I just said right now, no home warranty is making money right now. So you're gonna pay the price in one form or another, whether there's less coverage here, maybe they don't have a refrigerator, maybe they don't have this, maybe this deductible is higher than the other one. I think ultimately, you're not getting home warranty because of the $10 that is cheaper with me or with somebody else or whatever. You're getting home warranty because you want to make sure that if your customer has a problem, they are going to be taken care of. And that's really why you get home warranty, because if that customer is taken care of and they're happy customers, what happens to you guys?
They're at.
Yeah,
And tell it, how long has Old Republic been around?
50 years this
Yeah.
year, 50 years
Yeah.
this year, and 26 years for me this year. So I've been like more than half of the time
Yeah, so you
with Old Republic.
Don't want to like be nickeling and diming, even if it's 100, a difference in a company that is solid. Your other thing too is, can you get a hold of that rep when you have a problem? She's
So
very.
here,
Yeah, and I've heard good things about you. And
I have
so,
to.
thank
yeah,
you.
so, you put those two and two together, is it worth scrabbling over $100 for a future problem when you did everything in your power to make this a perfect transaction, and then to no fault of you, something happens with the house, the stove, the water, whatever, and now that's all they remember. They don't remember your great service, your great negotiating skills, none of that, and you squabbled over $100.
Yeah.
So,
It's like the news, you know what, you remember the news, you'll remember everything, but that one little negative thing,
Yeah.
and then you will
Yeah.
pick that out, right? Because people want,
So
so you want to kind of keep like that pleasant experience, and that's, thank you for saying that. Because for me, that's how I started my presentation today, if you notice, and I'm saying, I'm not perfect, the company's not perfect, and nobody's out, everybody can sell you everything they want, but nobody's perfect, right? But I do understand what you do to try to keep the business, to try to maintain and foster the relationships and to get that referral business. So if you did, that's why I said, I'm very frank, I'm very, transparent. I don't lie. I don't, and that's how I teach my boys. I say, you know what, you be upfront, even if sometimes it's going to hurt somebody, just try to do it in a loving way. But I would rather be honest, and you be honest with me and say, hey, you know what, like I said, I messed up. So $1,500, my customer is not happy. I will go to my boss and I'll say, can we help 500, 700, please, please, like, it's like, sometimes they always tell me, who do you work for? Because I'm always battling with Old Republic, not battling, but just trying to get the most for you guys so that your customer is happy. And so that's really what it's all about. It's the experience that the customer is getting, the experience that I'm giving to you. I have 2 people on my team. So like Jackie right now, she helps me with all the orders, anything that has to do with the policy itself, she helps me. Then I have Margarita. Margarita speaks English and Spanish and super service oriented. And so she already knows. I have a talk with her every so often and say, Margarita, just make my agents happy, make my agents happy. So every time there's a service claim, I'll send it to her. And then she does the research, she finds out everything, and then she says, okay, what do you want to do? And then I'm like, okay, see if we can do 600, see if we can do 700, and so, I mean, I probably in the whole company nationwide, I probably negotiate the most, because I've been told that, on things that aren't covered sometimes. But I just feel that that's how I keep my customers happy. And I do tell you, the agents, I say, it can't happen all the time, but those important times that for you, just let me know and I'll do my best, and so for most part, I've never gone to anybody and said, I cannot do nothing. Usually I can do something, but as long as if your loss ratio starts to climb, I'll talk to you and say, you know what, you're kind of like, and I'll talk to you guys about loss ratio. Loss ratio is important, guys. Everybody here is on a loss ratio, okay? So that means, like, example, let's say that you give me $1, right? And I give you $3 back. Okay, and then you call me like a month later and say, hey, this is not covered. And then I do like another $3. Now it's like, you're really, really not, I'm like you're costing us a lot of money now on things that I'm not talking about things that are covered. I'm talking about things that aren't covered. So then I will have to sit down and say, you know what, let's like limit the goodwills a little bit. And then let's try to get all the orders for you to do them first, because the more you order first, the more the credit comes to you and the higher, like the lower your loss ratio gets. And that gives me more pull to help you when things aren't covered. So you want to be the initiating agent, the one that orders the policy first. That helps me to help you on things not covered.
Speaking of pool, is swimming pool, I wasn't just.
Pool is coverage, it's $210, yeah, solar. In just the recent, maybe 3 months, I've had a couple of situations that have been solar pool. So you want to make sure if you're listing the property or they're buying the property, ask the customer, is this a regular pool or do you have solar on it? Because if it is, it's a separate coverage. It's the regular pool and solar coverage, okay?
And
It's costly, it can be very costly if we have to replace
Is
it
it
or repair
more
that.
expensive?
Yes,
Does it cost more?
yes, it's gonna cost more. So solar pools, they're not very frequent, but just for some reason, in the last couple of months, I had 3. And the agents didn't know it had solar, and so I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I was able to help one add it and stuff, but the other ones were like a long time ago already.
Are the solar panels also covered?
No, so people call me for solar panels. So the solar panels are not covered. We cover solar pool and we cover solar hot water. So like if the hot water heater and stuff, how much if they have, it's right here. It would be,
$250 for solar pool.
that for the pool, yes. So everything would be under optional coverage and stuff right here.
What is the rekeying and what is, yeah, but the keys are working already, so why are you?
Because a lot of times they want to change their key, their locks, because they don't want the previous homeowner to come and maybe, take something of theirs or, move in or whatever. So most people like to rekey. What we do in the rekey, we give 6 keyholes, so 6 new keyholes, and 4 brand new keys. And that's, the keyholes could be for deadbolts also.
And then
Okay.
what is increased coverage on manufacturing?
So the increased manufacturer warranty is if you have the platinum protection, and let's say, so that we don't cover for anything that's under manufacturer warranty, right? They would supersede our company. But when you get the platinum protection, and this is also in the works of changing right now, we just heard this week, so they might change it for our next round on changing the policies. They might add it to more coverage on that. But right now, what it is when you get the platinum protection, if something's under manufacturer warranty, when the homeowner gets whatever that part is, we will go and we'll do the labor on it.
And last one, appliance limits, what's that?
Okay, so it's a $2,000. So, okay, so if you guys look at the bottom right here. All right, can you do me a favor? To remind me after I say this, the 3 things that aren't covered, because I completely forgot. And then I remember, now I'll forget again, okay? Okay, so you guys look at the bottom right here. So you'll go to where appliance limits. So you'll see now that under the silver, our limit on appliances, which is the stove, oven, dishwasher, garbage disposal, microwave, water heater, not the water heater, but all the appliances, the limit is 3,000 if you have the silver. If you have the gold, the limit is 5,000 per appliance, not for all of them together,
Oh, wow.
per appliance, okay? Sometimes some home warranties have a $3,000 limit for everything. This is per appliance. And then the platinum protection has $7,000 per appliance. Now, if you want, let's say that you have a house that has high-end appliances, but you don't want to get the platinum, you would just like to get the gold coverage, but you want to get the highest limit on appliances, you get the limit of $100, and now that 5,000 turns to 7,000.
So, but what does that even mean? Okay, I have per appliance, I have $5,000. What does that?
That means that if we needed to replace a stove, an oven, a refrigerator, you know, you guys said right now the Sub-Zero would be 10,000. So let's just say you had a client that had a Sub-Zero, you should really be getting platinum. If you're not getting platinum, get gold or silver. And you know that when you get that $100 option, you're gonna up that 2,000. Okay, so 2,000. So
five.
instead of 3 would be 5, instead of 5 would be 7, but we do cap it at 7. So it wouldn't apply to the platinum. The 7,000 per appliance is the max that we pay out per appliance.
So does that mean every time, before that you guys replace something, they come out to fix it?
Not necessarily. If the technician calls us and says, you know what, this has outlived its life expectancy and we have to replace it, we'll replace it.
But if the tech comes and fixes it, does that take away from the 5,000?
Yes, yes. Every time that we do work, it'll take away and stuff. And so if ever you guys are not happy with a technician, which happens, it happens quite often. So I will tell you, if you are not happy with the technician, let us know. We have a contractors department, you know, that basically they vet, like they make sure that these technicians are like, you know, the best technicians that we could be sending out. But if you have a bad experience, you let us know. We put it on their file. That department will do research. They'll call the boss, they'll talk to the technician that went out, they'll find out the situation. If they find out that they did something that we totally are against, we will red flag that company and we'll say, we no longer are going to be working with you. Okay, that's how we kind of keep control nationwide of getting the best technicians. When we send a technician out, we always send our A+ technicians first.
So how many times before something is fixed and it doesn't work until you can replace it? Because
When the
then you're
technician-
eating away at your.
At that, yes.
At that
I mean,
limit.
if let's just say we've gone out twice or maybe 3 times and you say, you know, this is something, you get me involved. This is when you kind of escalate, you get me involved, and then I call my boss, I'm saying, what are we doing? Let's just count, how much is it gonna cost? Like, Margarita, can you find out how much it's gonna cost to replace? How much do they have left over? Okay, well, you know what, the homeowner's gonna have to pay $1,700, but we're gonna go ahead and pay $3,400. So a lot of times I'll say, offer them a cash out. Okay, so instead of the homeowner having to pay the $1,700, offer the homeowner $3,400, which is what we would be paying to replace it. And then they can find somebody maybe to do it cheaper, or they can pay the $1,700 difference. If it's an agent that really needs help, I'll say, you know what, can we do maybe an extra $300 or $400 off of the $1,700 and add.
What is this 1,700?
So I'm just giving you an example. So, you know, let's just say, do you understand? Yes, the differences and stuff. So we play, so we can give them like a cash out if they choose to. A lot of times the homeowners do. You know, we just did a cash out, I think for like $400 to $600 to somebody. And they're gonna find their own technician. But now, whatever we're cashing them out for, let's just say that it's the air conditioner. Now that air conditioner should be pretty much taken care of, because if we're cashing them out to replace it, then whoever they're getting it should be warranted by them.
So when they, sorry, so you said the appliance limit, for example, for a platinum is 7,000 plus an additional 2. What
No,
is- Oh.
Not on the platinum. 7,000 is a cap. So it won't change it on the
If you
platinum.
get the appliance upgrade, then
Yeah,
it would
It's
become.
2,000 more, For the silver, it'd be 5, because it's 3 plus 2, and then for the gold, it'd be 5 plus 2, which would be 7,000.
But not for the.
But now platinum is the maximum we pay out on each appliance, and that's like for like. So remember, if let's say that something is worth $3,000, we're not gonna replace it,
That was my
something
question.
that's higher,
So if we
5,000.
have a frigid air and I want to upgrade to a KitchenAid, that's not going to happen.
If we're replacing your air at that, you know, let's say that your air would cost us, you
No,
know,
I'm talking like a
Yeah.
stove. I've got
Yeah.
a Frigidaire,
Okay.
I'm just using that, I don't even know if that's a real thing.
Uh-huh.
But it's low end.
Well, let's just say it's okay, but let's just say it was gonna cost us $1,000
Yeah,
to fix or to replace, right? But you wanna upgrade it, so then what I would say is, we're gonna offer you the $1,000 cash out, and then you can go ahead and get the one that you want. so
But
you
then
can use it as
what
credit.
if my son says, hey, but I got a $7,000 credit here, but it's only like for like.
Like,
Summer.
yeah, like that. Yeah, we keep everything always like as
Roof
is.
included where?
Huh?
Roof, when is it included?
So the roof is included on all of them. Silver, gold, or platinum, it doesn't matter with your office. So that's one benefit that Old Republic Press has, that there's roof on each policy. It doesn't matter if you're getting silver, gold, or platinum.
Limited.
Limited roof leak repair, it's up to $1,500. We cover to repair the roof, not to replace the roof. Okay, so it's limited. And this is the only time.
Don't say, oh, it's got roof coverage.
Yes, no,
Yes.
no, because.
It's all 1,500.
Yeah, they're like, that's a bit of a whole house.
Yeah, so it's only repairs, and this is the only time we ask the homeowner to send someone out to get the repairs on the roof. Then they give us an estimate, not do the work, they give us an estimate. Our department reviews it. If it's something that's covered, let's say it's $1,300, we will call the homeowner and say, okay, you've been approved for $1,300, do the work. When you do it, send us a paid invoice, and then we will go ahead and reimburse you. That's only for the roof,
And deductible $100
$100.
for everything.
$100 per technician, yes. Now, when you have the special client, here's another thing that I offer, okay? I have these. This is worth $100. I wish I had like 10 of them.
You're
I go
supposed
like
to be,
this.
are you going on to a different subject?
You can print
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that
Okay,
next.
I
Okay.
just-
So you guys, so when you, what did I say?
He says we can print stuff for you.
Okay, so this is worth $100. So if you have a customer that's a buyer, you can go ahead and send, and when you close your transaction or when they have their first service claim, you can give this to them, and then this is worth for their first service claim only. They can only use this once in the year. Okay, but if you have like something like it's better to like email me and say, hey, we're having a service issue. This is my buyer's name and address. Can you send in a coupon? Because now we don't give it to the technician anymore. Now we send it over to service directly, because before we would give it to the technician and they would say, oh, we didn't get anything. And then now we're charging the homeowner, and it's like a big old mess. So now it's better if you just call me and say, hey, this is my buyer. Can you offer me one of the coupons? And I'll send it into service, and then they don't have to pay.
Only for buyer.
Well, yeah, because why would you do it for the seller?
So Gloria, but this is not just for buyers, if you're already a homeowner or a condo owner, you need one of these.
Yes, so you asked me that. Okay, so anybody can get a home warranty at any time. However, you cannot get 13-month plan. You have to go with a 12-month plan.
Are these the rates for a regular person or for
It-
agents?
The rates are for the 12-month book. I don't have it here, but I can bring it to you before I leave today, so you guys know the rates, but you can also get them in our online. It's gonna be less because it's 12 months and the roof is not included. If they were to get, I think the silver is $420 on the 12-month plan. $420 without roof, and it's 12 months. Now, if you were to get, let's say, offices that don't have CRES and they want roof, they'd have to do $420 plus $100 for the roof. Now they're paying $520. So here, an agent in another office is paying $520 and you're paying $485. You're getting a 13-month plan, they're getting a 12-month plan, and they're getting a plan that goes up to $1,000 in roof. You're getting one that gets $1,500. So you're getting everything better for cheaper.
Okay, but as a homeowner, as a condo owner personally,
Yes.
outside of my business.
Uh-huh.
So if I want to look at this as an agent perspective, I can talk to you after that.
Yes, and you would get the 12-month rate.
Yeah.
And then the only thing is, if you're not in escrow, there's a 30-day hold from the day you pay the plan. Okay, and then the plan would begin. Okay, so let me go on, because I know we're kind of like,
You wanted to
So-
talk about.
the 3 things, yes. Okay, so I had mentioned already the first one, okay? So what are the things that we don't cover? I already mentioned one.
30 days.
Why would we say not covered? I already mentioned it.
Pre-existing.
Pre-existing, very good. Okay, number 2 is improper installations, Mickey Mouse, somebody did something wrong. Home warranties don't cover that, improper installation. Number 3, missing parts. If something is not there, and that's why that item is not working, we don't go and put it in. It needs to have been there already. Okay, so those are the main 3 reasons. Now regarding pre-existing, the only thing I'll mention is that we cover unknown pre-existing. If there's I like to use this as an example. If there's a leak behind this wall, you close escrow. Everything was fine when it closed escrow. 2 weeks later, the homeowner starts to see like, oh my gosh, something is going on in here. We go and we find out there's a leak. Okay, everything is normal. It's just a regular leak that's going on. It's obviously been going on for a while. We would cover that though, because there's no way that you could have known.
Wow.
Okay, that's called unknown pre-existing. Now, I'll give you another example. I don't have a light switch right here. Homeowner moves into the house. First time they turn on the light, doesn't work. Okay, would we cover that? No, because you should have checked that. You should have checked that. Okay, there's a way to check that. You can't check behind the wall, but you could check that. Anything that's easy accessible that you should have checked during the walkthrough or during the inspection, that I'm like, okay, then they won't cover that. But anything that there's no way that you could have known, and it's something that we cover, well, we would cover that. We would honor that. Okay? Claims process, when you guys have a service issue, I'm gonna give you guys a service number. I think on the next run, they're gonna put the number that goes directly to service. I'm gonna give you 2 numbers right now. Okay, they just added another number. So the first number for service is 800-972. 800-972-5985. 800-972-5985. That's the first number. The second number is 866-763-3302. Those are both service numbers that you guys have. When you need me to look into a service issue, the best thing to always do is email me the property address, the buyer's name, the buyer's phone number, and what the problem is. Okay, what you would like me to do. Then I will go ahead and send that to Margarita, or if Jackie's checking my emails like now, she will send it over to Margarita and then let her know to start looking into it. Okay, the more specific you are, the better. Always the address, buyer's name, buyer's phone number, and how we can be of assistance. That's like the best. Okay, and make sure it has your guys' information. Oh, you didn't write it? The number is 866.
What is this one?
Service number. It's not on there.
633-3302.
763-3302, yes, that's service. 3302. So 763-3302, and it's 866.
Okay, 866, what?
Okay, so I'm gonna say it. 866-763-3302.
Got it.
That's the number you give to service, or the 800, you give both 800-972-5985, okay? So those are the service numbers. Almost, so do you guys want to go through seller's coverage or no?
Yes.
You guys done?
Yeah.
Seller's coverage, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go through seller's coverage real fast, because this is the second tool. And then when I come back next time, I'll talk about all the marketing tools. So, but right now, seller's coverage is the second thing that I wanted to offer you guys. Okay, seller's coverage is coverage during the listing and during the escrow period. So if something was to go wrong with the house regarding their systems and appliances, they call us the same way. They say, this is my house, I'm listing it, and my dishwasher just went out. My garbage disposal just went out. My water heater just went out. We would dispatch it out to a contractor, they pay the deductible, it works the same way, okay? The only difference is that it's happening during the listing period and during the escrow period. Who could tell me what the price is for seller's coverage? It's in the back, in a blue box.
$2 and something every day.
It's $1.33 a day for a single family based on the silver packet. And then it's $2.11 single family for the gold. That rate, $2.11, starts the day you order it and it ends the day you close escrow. Okay. Okay, so it's not for pre-existing. So here's the thing. If we spend $9,000 during the seller's coverage, okay, let's just say example, $9,000 during seller's coverage, and something happened that the buyer didn't qualify, and the seller chose not to sell, who pays us the $9,000 that we spent? Nobody pays us. Who pays us the $2.11? Nobody. We get zero. That's what we get, zero. because you didn't close the transaction.
Nobody's
Oh,
paying
so
why there is a dollar
So
amount.
this is, nobody even pays us that. You only
So
pay
why there is-
if you close. You only pay if you close the escrow. If you don't close, you don't pay anything.
So when you get it,
Yes,
you don't pay anything until it closes.
until it closes.
So
If you don't
put it
close,
in your listing saying
So-
covered by.
so you go into your, what is it called, the MLS? And you
Why-
can
why
say,
they don't
this house is covered by a home warranty plan with Old Republic Home Protection. Okay, now the people know, when they're writing up the offer and they write ABC company, you're gonna say, we are already with Old Republic Home Protection, thank you very much. I wanna
That's a
say-
great tool to get listings.
A great tool to get listings, yeah.
And you
Listing
put it on your,
presentation.
you put it on your listing as well, so
And
that the seller signs it?
Yes, so you can use
Gloria,
sign writers that lets them know the house already comes with a warranty. At your open houses, you can take tent cards and let them know the house has a warranty.
When you get them.
Huh?
Do you have them?
I have them in my car, yes. you can get
Gloria,
them of those.
what I don't get is that if you don't pay nothing, why you are advertising that it's $2.11
So-
a day? What is,
Because
When
that's the
closed.
fee when it closes. If it
but
closes,
it
escrow.
closes, you are paying 950
So when it
plus
Yes,
this?
plus that. Yes,
Okay,
plus that, yeah.
got it.
So if it closes, or when it closes, you're gonna pay the seller's coverage, plus you're gonna pay whatever coverage you get. Now, I wanna give you guys some highlights. Seller's coverage, because we're not guaranteed any money, can't do any goodwills. This is the only time I can't like call my boss, she'll like fire me, okay, because we're not guaranteed any money. So it's either covered or it's not during seller's coverage, because we're not guaranteed, which is fair. The second thing is that seller's coverage, you can't offer and it says it right there. Roof is not available during seller's coverage, and the washer, dryer, refrigerator is not available during seller's coverage. Even if you go with the gold option, not during seller's coverage. Buyer's
Washer
coverage,
and
yes.
What is not available?
Washer, dryer, refrigerator, and it tells you right
Nothing
there.
is covered.
No, plumbing, electrical appliances like the stove, oven, dishwasher, garbage disposal, microwave, the water heater, all of that is covered. Okay, the second thing that I want you guys to remember is that if you're going with the silver packet, the limit on the air conditioner and the heater is $500 during the time that it's listed, or $1,500 if you go to the gold. Okay, those are the only conditions. Other than that, everything else is the same.
Where else is, all these details written? Is it just-
It's in here, it will be in here, or in the, you can also go to the front, it gives the details, and our next run is gonna have all of the limits and liabilities again in there. Okay, now, last thing I wanna mention, because I know some of you, need to probably get going. In the middle right here, whenever they ask you, what does the home warranty cover? When they're getting the gold or the platinum, you can just direct them to this page. In general, this is what the gold and the platinum cover. This is how much it will cost on average in 2022 to repair something or to replace something.
Right, more now.
Okay, yes, more now because of inflation. Okay, we also have in our toolbox, in our website, we have these two that help you when you're going to your listing presentations. If you are gonna offer seller's coverage, you can show this to them and say, you know what, because you're listing the property with me, and I know some of you, you know, I mean, it's like four conditions, but if you go on a listing presentation and you say, what is your name? I'm sorry?
Donati.
Huh?
Donati.
Donati, okay. Donati, I'm gonna give you guys an example, okay? And then afterwards, we're gonna finish up with the role play and then we're done. Okay, Donati, I just wanna thank you for your time, you know, and allowing me to come in to, you know, to, present to you. And I just wanna let you know, because there's gonna be other people after me, that I offer something that maybe my other, you know, other people coming in won't offer you. Okay, I have two things to offer you. Number one is, if you list a property or when you list a property with me, okay, you're gonna have something that's called the seller's protection plan. And what that is, you'll see here on the certificate, is that when we close the escrow, if the buyer, for any reason, was not very happy about something and wanting to take you to court, we never want that to happen, but if it did, because you're listing the property with me and this is your primary residence, you're gonna have coverage of up to $50,000. Okay, so if you did end up in court, the max that you would pay pretty much would be $2,500, unless they're suing you for a lot more, but we would basically cover up to $50,000 with a deductible that you would be responsible of $2,500. That would be good for the first 6 months. If you choose me as your real estate agent, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to sign on the dot, right, on the dotted line right there and give me the list. That's number one. Number two is I would also make sure that I want to cover your systems and appliances because we all know that sometimes anything can go wrong with the water heater, the plumbing, electricity, things like that. You know, the stove. So basically I have this company that I work with and they offer coverage on the systems and appliances. If you want to look at the middle packet, right, the middle page here kind of explains to you a little bit more about what they cover and how much it would cost to repair or replace something. So you never know if all of a sudden you're in escrow and your water heater goes out or something goes wrong. Well, if you list a property with me, all you have to do if something was to go wrong, call the company, tell them what the problem is, and you're only responsible is for $100 deductible, and they would come out to repair or replace whatever needs to be done. You don't have to worry about paying anything other than the deductible. I'm taking care of it for you. Okay, those are two things that could potentially save you thousands of dollars. Okay, so just keep in mind that the people that are coming afterwards probably are not gonna offer this. I do this because I wanna take care of you right from the start. Okay, because that's the type of agent I am. I wanna save you time, I wanna save you money. Okay, how does that sound for you? Right,
Sounds good.
okay, so I'm not an agent, I don't have scripts, I don't have nothing, but I'm trying to give you the idea.
Gloria, the seller's coverage, does it start from the time of the listing or?
Start as
time of
soon as
the-
I step out of your door. Okay, but it's not gonna cover anything that's going on right now. So is everything working fine right now, your systems and appliances?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so from here to the time we close escrow, something happens with the plumbing, electricity, roof, you just get, I mean, not roof, plumbing, electricity, appliances, you just give this company a call and they will go ahead and service you. If you have any issues, please give me a call. Yeah.
But you just said that appliances.
No,
are not-
appliances do, not the washer, dryer, or refrigerator. But
The
the
rest-
stove, the oven, the dishwasher, the garbage disposal, the microwave, and it tells you, yeah.
Yeah,
Just those three.
Refrigerator.
Washer, dryer,
Washer and dryer.
that's it. Everything else, yes.
Is there
Okay.
something that we have to take with us at the?
There, I have these two flyers that you can take, but I would take this because this is the best, because it tells you,
Where should they sign?
it tells you everything right here.
Yeah, but where should they sign in order to get that? Seller's
They don't need to sign anything. They just need to sign your listing.
Ah.
Yeah, that's
okay,
when I
then we
said sign
call
on the
you.
dotted line, that mean, I meant sign my listing agreement.
Then we call you, right?
Huh? Yes,
Because,
yeah, it'll be all be, and all you have to do is, when you step out of the house, you just go and you call us, Old Republic, send me an email, whatever you want, go on the toolbox. I want you guys to eat, but if anybody after you eat, I'll stay here as long as I need to, I'll help you guys go on the toolbox. You can order your orders on here also, you can also get marketing tools on here. But I think I kind of went long, so maybe we can do another meeting for marketing tools. I'll come in and I'll do meetings in the future.
When you do the marketing.
We can do flyers on here and everything, but, so if you guys want to get your food, and if anybody wants to stay after, I'll help you guys go on the toolbox.
I think
Okay.
I should maybe start out the first 30 minutes with school and then the next